In this box right here is the Teclast X80 Power. Now it's very similar to the X80 Pro that was released before this model, but this one here has an all-metal rear housing, and Teclast claim it is only 7.2 millimeters thick. It's a dual boot tablet that has Windows 10 and Android 5.1. 2 gigabytes of RAM and an Atom X5Z 8300 32GB eMMC. And the screen is 1920 by 1200, so quite a sharp resolution when it's only an 8-inch screen there that it has. So this one here I got from geekbuying.com, and they sent it out with SF Express. Took about a week to get here and didn't have to pay any taxes on it, which was really good. They declared it as a adapter, a 20 US adapter, so that might have actually helped there. So let's have a look and see how well they packed it up. Hopefully no damage, so they've put some padded foam wrap around it, which is good. So in Teclast's pressed images, they make it look very slim, the bezels on this, and like a really slim device. And often I've found that when you actually get the tablets, the bezel is nothing like what their press images look like. So let's have a look and see if that is the case again. So here we have the usual goodies here. So a micro USB 2 cable there for charging and data. The OTG cable, so it's micro USB 2 to full-size USB. And they've included a power adapter, but there is no actual charger. So that's a little funny. They've chucked that in there, but they've realized that there's actually no charger there included with this, which is often the case with these under 100 or around $100 mark tablets that you get. So nothing else in there. That's just all the warranty, guarantee cards and whatnot. That is all in Chinese. So really not any use to me at all. So get all of this out of the way, and let's have a look at the tablet. Okay, so here we go. Still has rather large bezels, but you see at the bottom now we have two, hopefully that is two speakers on there. Does actually look a little thinner. Now Teclast claimed that it's only 7.2 millimeters, which I find hard to believe. And let's have a look now and measure that and just see exactly how much that really is, the thickness. Ooh, you know what? They're not that far off. So it's almost 7.3, so just about. Okay, you could add in the screen protector and the rear plastic. So yeah, it is actually, look at that, quite thin, not too bad. So the buttons on the side here, we have the power on, volume up and down, made out of plastic. This little dot here would be, of course, the microphone, and actually it does say on the back there, mic. Here we have a rear-facing 2 megapixel camera. There is HDMI out, which is good to see, especially in this price range. There's the micro USB 2 and 3.5mm headphone jack. So this trim around the outside, that is plastic there. And here is the SD card, micro SD card slot. They've already actually got a temporary plastic one in there, which is something I haven't actually seen them do before. So, and the screen has a pre-applied screen protector on it that looks a little messed up with bubbles, so I'll have to remove that. So let's see if there's any power in this thing. Hopefully there is. Build actually feels quite good, feels quite solid. There's definitely no real flex in that. So there's the typical Teclast dual boot selector that I'm very familiar with. So we can either select Android or Windows there. I'm just going to go straight into Android first. And if you want to disable that menu, simply just get rid of that box. Now I'm actually seeing some flicker going on there. That's probably just to do with my camera. I will need to adjust that. Well, it seems no matter what setting I try, it's still showing that flicker, only on the camera though. Looking at the screen myself here, I can't see that. I can't see that shimmering at all. So I'll just go straight into Android there. So the front-facing camera, that's another 2 megapixel one. So the screen does look really nice and sharp there. Now the gap in the display is the normal about 1.5 to 2 millimeters there I can see. So there we go. Android is starting. I'm still seeing that flickering going on camera, which isn't the best, but I can't see it with my eyesight, so don't know why the camera is doing that. Okay, so adjust the brightness, maybe that will have an impact on it. Actually, it seems really bad on camera there. Okay, I tried again. Whatever I do, I change the ISO settings, and I still can't get it to show up how I'm looking at it. It's still showing that shimmering and flicking. So, not too good there. So, let's have a look at the settings. About tablet. So, it's still running Android 5.1, seems to be the latest version that Teclast have. And they do have their over there update system, which I can see. Google Play Store, of course, is there. This is the update system. I will, of course, need to connect up to my wireless network and download, see if there's any downloads, updates there. So, free space available. Something else that I need to check out. We won't have a lot. So, we've got 9.33 gigabytes there available, which, considering this is only a 32 gigabyte eMMC, I guess isn't too bad. And the ROM, the launcher, good to see they are using a very stock-like launcher there, not their own custom launcher. So I'm just going to boot over now into Windows very quickly, just have a look at what we have in the device manager. And okay, normally there is an option there just to boot straight from that pull-down menu over to Windows. But that obviously must be just enabled from holding down. Okay, hold down the power button, the usual. So boot to Windows. So while that is powering up, I'm just going to get rid of this awful, horrible screen protector that someone put on there. It's just full of dust. That'll give us a much better look at the screen. So the flickering looks like it's still happening. Auto rotation is working. Okay, 40% brightness, 50, and that is 0. 100 there. And flickering away like crazy on the camera. So, device manager. Alright. So it's a generic bwin drive that is on there. And those normally aren't the fastest when it comes to write speeds, but I will have that benchmarked and check that out later on when I go through all my benchmarks on this tablet. What else do we have when it comes to the wireless network adapter? Realtek, the single band wireless in, Realtek right there. And just have a look in system. So system, it is the Teclast UltraPad, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 64-bit operating system, and Windows is already activated there. And lastly, just have a look and see what amount of free space we're going to have available. So only 4.36 gigabytes free on Windows. That isn't good to see. Sorry, I'm just fiddling with the camera trying to get the screen to come out properly. That is not enough free space, honestly. When you start doing those Windows updates, I don't even know how you're going to be able to install games or anything on that with that amount of free space. Luckily, we do have the micro SD card there, so you probably could run Steam games from the micro SD card slot. But definitely that is not enough. 32 gigabyte eMMCs with dual operating systems is just not good at all. It's really something that shouldn't exist anymore. It should be minimum of 64. Alright. Okay, so that is the Teclast X80 Power, the latest 8-inch model from them. And yes, it actually is as thin as they claim. And does have a very nice build to it. It does remind me of the finish on the Xiaomi Mi Pad too, a very kind of similar finish to it, even the same gold color too that they have. But yeah, overall doesn't seem too bad. I will check out the speakers later on in the review and run through my usual benchmarks and everything in both Android and Windows. So if you're interested in that, please keep an eye on the playlist. Thank you for watching. Hopefully see you soon.